Good morning.
Good morning.
There's something to be said about practice.
Uh-huh.
Practice. Practice makes better.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. All right. Well, good morning. Good morning.
Good
You
morning.
know,
Good to see
I'm
you.
I'm
Welcome, Lisa. Welcome to the Western New York Real Estate Show, everybody. I'm around to quite Chuck, joined by Realtor Avery. Another Wednesday.
Yes. And
Exciting.
I'm excited for today's show with our Hannah How To, because what I love about it, it is a super broad topic
Mm,
that we will just kind of sample on and not necessarily dive in and teach you how to use all the things we talk about, but get you thinking about how do you want to communicate, what
okay.
method, who, how often, and
Right.
then it's a conversation about, okay, what Hannah how to tools will best help you with that,
Okay.
right?
I think so. Right. Well, yeah, let's do it. You're a better communicator than I am. So I'm going to let you, be the lead.
I think
And
that
if I have anything
communication
great
is
to
not
offer, I will try to be helpful.
communication is not one size fits all. Although I do have a child with a communication degree from UB, so maybe I
Hmm,
picked up a
that's
little
a
bit.
big major there. There's a lot of communication degrees out of UB. One of my buddies, he was, I think my best man for my wedding. I think he was a communication degree major he would have graduated like in the early 90s.
Yeah.
But
The
communications,
I have two close friends who are communication professors, and one of my friends way back when in the early 90s did her PhD paper, and she studied communication among realtors. And it was really
oh,
interesting back then because it was really, and now she does a lot of corporate communication, government communication after disasters, things like that.
mm,
And the fact that we are competitors who work together, our communication is very unique. So
it,
it's
okay.
very interesting. So I mean,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
communication is too big of a topic, right? Because we could
Yeah.
spend a whole show titled "Pick Up the Phone," like
Right. I know
communicating
I
to
know
other
agents to
humans.
go, you know what? I answer my phone. That's all I need. I literally, you call, I answer.
Hmm.
And that's what our clients are asking for. I just want you
Right.
to answer the phone.
And that's
Okay.
what our coworkers are asking for. We're still in a world of multiple offer. We're still in a world of
Mhm.
communication where we need to talk to each other, throughout, and to give that professional courtesy to your
Mhm.
fellow realtor to answer the phone and have a conversation. Yes, communication over text,
Mhm.
email is very important, but so is a one-on-one conversation in person or on the phone or over FaceTime even, so
Yeah.
um, a FaceTime phone call over a big situation. If you have an out of town client, maybe do a FaceTime call. Make sure they're paying attention.
Okay.
All right. So good morning. Thanks for joining us, Denise. Good morning to you.
Yay. Good morning,
And
Denise. Where Gina,
yes,
she watching. You got Gina.
good.
Where's Candy?
Our
And
regulars, our
tell your
regulars.
friends. Tell your friends. Every Wednesday. We're
Yes.
taking the production up a notch. It's unfortunately it couldn't happen this week because my mind was buried in watching watching some states fall last night.
Yes. But
No judgment zone. And
yeah,
so anyway, so I'm catching back up.
good.
But we'll have some exciting updates next week. So I'm very like a
Yeah.
little teaser there.
So communication, as we talk about, like if you are actively working with a buyer
Hmm.
or seller, right? You're communicating all the time because you just
True.
have to be. Hey,
Yeah.
we're looking at this house. What did you think of this house? We're talking to the bank. You're my listing agent or you're my listing. So we're going to schedule an open house. We're going to talk
Hmm.
about offers that are coming in. But what we really want to talk about too is how do you stay in touch with people when they are not actively looking to buy or sell real estate? Okay?
Hmm.
And I think that's going to depend on who it is, right? Like so you have all different ways to communicate. Monthly newsletters, if you're a Howard Hanna realtor and you use the trending at home, that email came out today. So if you have people signed up to receive that monthly newsletter, they got it today. So it's a good time to be ready for those conversations. Check your numbers, check your insights as to how many people opened it and what did they click on. Each
Okay.
newsletter has 3 articles, 1 paragraph each, and you can click on an article. One of the articles this month is on buying a new refrigerator and some tips
Mm,
on that. I'll bet that's gonna get a lot of clicks as we think about the holiday seasons coming
mm,
up. Is your refrigerator good enough to handle all the food
mm.
that's be put in it in the next couple months, right? Do you need
We need a smaller refrigerator. The problem with a big refrigerator is we fill it, right? And then we end up, especially as a realtor, God bless my wife Kathy for being so patient, because I'll send a message, at 5 o'clock saying, "Yeah, honey, sorry, I've got to go do this tonight at 6. I've got to go show this property. I've got to do blah blah blah," and so I feel like we refrigerate a bunch of things to trying to plan for what the week's going to be, and we end up it just never works out that way. And I kind of said the other day, I go, just let me know like earlier in the day what you want me to bring home. I'll be home by a certain time so that we're not wasting so much chicken and ground beef and stuff like that. But that requires a level of communication. We have to figure out a way that works for our schedules and how
right.
we, because that we're wasting a lot, and it's hard not to do.
Yeah.
So
And I think, you bring up in a roundabout way, sometimes we in the real estate business, we have to deliver bad news, right? Like,
mm,
so Kathy's expecting you to be home at 5 and you call her at 4:50 to say, I'm not going to be home till 6. That's a little bit of
yeah,
bad news. So you don't text that, right? You don't be like, hey,
right.
sorry, because then that feels like you don't care as much as to pick up the phone. So again, if you are delivering not great news to your clients, call them, right?
Ooh,
Don't
I did
just
that
text.
yesterday. I
Hmm?
did that yesterday. I had to do that yesterday. I called my client and I said, this is kind of a bad call. I got bad news. That house that we wanted to go do a second showing at and write an offer on, they just got their PINA signed off on. And it's out. And
Yeah.
you know
Yeah.
what? And he's like, "Oh, that's fine. Whatever.
Right. But if it
There'll
was
be
a
another one."
text, that
But
wouldn't have been good, right?
yes, but
Yes.
you make that call. Absolutely.
Yes.
So
So emails, great
I
way to
wish
stay in touch.
I wish we had a
Through
PINA.
a
Put that
newsletter,
out there.
through a monthly communication that way. It might be, how many of us sent out emails about the time change, making sure everybody's clocks changed? No? Okay. I think I got 4 from different people. I'm like, "Oh,
Yeah.
okay." Um,
Part of the reason I didn't do it, right? Everybody else is doing it.
Yes. We had the experience recently in the Hamburg office of doing I think I mentioned it here, a downsizer seminar,
Oh yeah.
and we used the postcards from Quantum Digital. I
Mhm.
can tell you that Quantum Digital has amazing
Mhm.
marketing pieces,
Mhm.
whether it's farming a particular neighborhood or to your center of influence. And
Mhm.
what's nice about it is you can upload a mailing list. So one of the agents uploaded a mailing list of 100 names.
Mhm.
Now, 3 times a year, they're going to do a mailing to that same list. It's already in there.
Right.
Um, they
And
don't have to do it again.
the other beauty of that list is they have scrubbed all the addresses to make sure that the addresses are compliant with the post office. So you don't
Yes.
get those returned letters. You might send out a campaign. How many every day you probably get letters back in your office from mailed campaigns, and that's postage that's
Yeah.
wasted. That
Yes.
did not make it to its destination. And so that's one way that using a service like Quantum, I think really benefits your business.
Well, they scrub it even before you send it. Like, it
Yeah,
will tell
exactly.
you, "You've got 3 addresses in here that
Yeah.
are not good," and it lets you look at each one and you either fix it or
Mhm.
delete it.
Or there's my favorite my favorite Quantum tool, client follow up. Right? You
Yes.
click on it's right on your main homepage. You click on client follow up and choose, do you want to follow up with them with a postcard every month, every 2 months, every 3 months? For $20, you choose, and it's done. And
Yes.
you could stay within a family of design, or you could interchange it. You could do a whatever.
Yes.
I like to
Well,
start with thank you and then switch it up after that.
yes. Yes, and again, it's what I love about that, what you just said, is the realtor has the choice. This
Mhm.
client, I want them to get something in their hot little hands, right? I know they are the type of person. I mean, I go to my mailbox, at least every other day. And I look at what comes in it. I mean, I
Mhm.
have friends, they go to their mailbox once a week, if that. I don't
Mhm.
send them much, right? But
Yeah.
if you know your client is someone who appreciates a written card, a postcard, a handwritten note, definitely keep that up, you know?
Everybody appreciates a handwritten note. Like, right. Like, oh my God, those handwritten notes, I just throw them right in the garbage. Said no one ever.
Um,
No one
okay.
ever.
I also like, so some of the other things that you can share if you want to communicate with people, because again, we are talking about what do you want to send. I think our Howard Hanna blog is very good. And
Mm.
I'll bet even most of our people who watch us every week don't look at the blog every week or every time it comes out.
Mhm.
So sometimes we get afraid, like, well, I don't want to send that. Everyone's already seen it, right? Everyone's already read that blog post. But I will tell you,
Howard
don't
Hanna
assume it.
wishes. We
What?
Howard Hanna wishes,
Right.
right?
So, if you
I
read
wish. We all wish. I mean, people, it's so funny. Like, we always think, oh my God, I put so much time and effort into doing it that when I send it out, well, everyone's going to appreciate that and read it. Right. And usually that's not usually the way it works.
no.
But
No, I think
it's the repetitive, just keep going. Just keep
yes.
going.
Right, and in real estate, you can't do something once and think, "I did it, it's done, success." It's
Well,
that it's
you
that
only have
building.
you only have to be there for the people that need you right in that moment. If you have a list of 1,000 and it goes out to 1,000, 950 or 990 really don't need you right in that moment, but maybe 10 people do. And you
Right,
really need to be there for those 10 people. And then, next year it'll be a different 10 people and it'll be,
exactly.
but it's always 10 people. It's all, or 20 or whatever your metric is, but you need to be there for those people. And the only way to make sure you're there for those little group is to, go to everybody. This is what
Yes.
we do.
And keep doing it, and keep doing it, and find the method that works for
Hmm.
you and works for your center of influence, right? Like, you and as a realtor, though, we can't only do like, what do they say? The golden rule is to treat others the way you wanna be treated, but the
No,
platinum
the
rule
platinum rule,
is to
right?
treat others the way they wanna be
They
treated,
want to be
right? Like,
right.
so if you wanna connect with
Hmm.
me, phone call is your best bet.
Hmm.
Other people, it's gonna be, no, text me, email me, what do each person is gonna want something different, right? Like, I like the newsletters because I do click
Hmm.
through them.
Yeah. But if you got a client who's like Gen Z or something, text is probably, or you might need to start like a Discord server or something to communicate with them. Like, I don't know. I don't know.
Right, right, so
I don't even
you
know.
wanna know your people and
Yeah.
do the best with it,
Hmm.
and know that you've gotta do 10 different things for 10 different groups.
Okay.
It's just the way it is.
It is just the way it is. But that's what's so great with the different tools. Usually they have some sort of leverage involved. Like, you don't have to keep pulling the ratchet to make the thing happen. It's usually set up a program and it repeats on it,
Mhm,
on its own. You just have to keep adding to and managing that list. Um,
yes.
so I love a couple weeks ago, we had a Tech Tuesday and they talked about those, um, groups and engage. And if you create the groups and you use all caps, then every time a new person comes in, it automatically adds them to the group. And they ought like, so it was just a way of making that ratchet pull and getting that
Yes.
leverage, without you having to log on to your computer. I feel like, there we go. I feel without logging on to your computer and
Right.
making it happen. So
Be
way to go,
right,
Hannah.
because those things will work together. If you do that boost ad, any of those names that come in, if you say, "Hey, anybody who's a new boost lead, I want this to happen,"
Yeah.
just like you said, you set it up once and then it's done.
Right. Right. Okay. Let's do it. What else we got? So we're Boost. We just looked up Boost yesterday because we've got a listing coming up, and it's going to come up in like 10 days. And I said, well, let's look at the other houses that listed in that area, like people that responded to a ranch style house and blah blah blah. And let's let those people know right now that there's a listing coming up in 10 days. Now you're not hearing even the day it's listed. We're letting you know there's business coming up in 10 days. And how would you like to be prepared if that's a house that you want to buy,
Right.
we can make that happen right
Beautiful.
now.
Beautiful.
Do it.
'Cause right, and having that information,
Hmm.
we talk about doing, I know we've had Tina Visconti on the show before, one of our Rochester managers.
Hmm.
She has a great program that she kinda tweaked the BMA portion of the home valuation section of our site.
Oh,
And
right.
she
Yep.
goes
Hmm.
through, walks through exactly how to do it. She
Hmm.
pages, we just went through it, print pages 1, 3, and 6. And she's gotten it down to a science. You print those 3 sheets of paper, you
Hmm.
either handwrite a note or put a Post-it, and all of that can still go in an envelope for 1 stamp,
Hmm.
right? Like, we also pay
Nice.
attention that we don't wanna have extra postage on a mailing.
Right.
And she uses just the comparables from public records, the, activity, buyer activity in their price range, and writes a little note, and she sends this, with her agents to their past clients, their center of influence, like, here's a quick review of a range of value of your property. If you'd like to
Hmm.
know a more specific number, let me know. I'll touch base. You
Okay.
mail out 3 or 4 a week so that you can call 3 or 4 a week and stay on top of it. She starts, she encourages her agents, start with your list at the beginning of the year, and just in the course of a few months, mail one out to every person. What a great way to
Mm.
communicate, to offer something of value. Build in the call to action by yourself. If I mailed 5 this week, these are the 5 people I'm calling next week, because I promised them in the letter I would.
Right.
So
Set the
you're
expectation, then you follow through. You did what
yeah,
you said you're going to do. That's
yes.
really that's all. That's it. The whole business in a nutshell. I
And
did what I said I
you're
was going to do.
doing it to your center of influence, right? So they
Hmm.
know who you are. They know
Yeah.
you're in real estate. It's like, "Hey," and
Right.
I always talk about that at the beginning of the year at tax time. What's your equity position, right? Let's
Mm.
look at the value of your house
Hmm.
minus your mortgage balance or any home equity loans, any financing you have against it. That's your equity position.
Okay.
And I
Equity
think that's
update.
a great service to provide, because I think if an agent goes to a house, does a market analysis, comes up with a value, and the people don't decide to sell, they still have information. They know, hey, there's other houses in the market. What would they be worth? Like, you're pulling
Mhm.
information on properties, and every time you do that, you're learning and you're getting better as a realtor. You're knowing what's out there.
Yep. So yesterday, so I'll tell you about a story I had yesterday. So I got an email. Um, I got an email about a property from a lead source. I don't know which one it was, and it says, Chuck, here, this person at this address is interested in selling their house. I said, great. So it's got their phone number there. So I called her up and said, hey, this is Chuck from Howard Hanna. I got this message from this blah, 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 and it indicated you might be interested in finding out about selling your house. Does that sound accurate? Does that sound familiar? She's like, no, I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about. and I,
She just
and I,
wanted to enter for free windows.
I guess, yeah. And I said, oh, all right. I go, well, let me ask you a question. I go, if I sent you an estimate for the value of your house, would that be useful? Would you like that? And you know what she said? She said, yes, I would like that. I said, great. I'll get it over to you later this week. Right. And so I don't, I just
Yeah.
asked her the question, hey, would it be helpful? And people, when they go, I would like that. I am curious. She sounded like someone who could really use an update to the value of her property.
Right.
And it's such a nice little thing. So make the calls, ask the question, just give something of value, and you grow your business. It's great.
I agree. I agree. I
Hmm.
think it's you're having those conversations because you never know when that person needs that information, and
Right.
you want to be the one
Ah,
to give it to them.
I'm a mess. My
So-
microphone's all over the place today. I think it was off earlier. I saw the buttons were the wrong color, and I go, this isn't working. So, but it's good now.
I want to talk about another form of communication, especially with clients, your sphere of influence that's not
Mhm.
looking to buy or sell, and maybe
Yeah.
partly because Joel Bollinger was just in our office yesterday from our warranty company, and Joel sends out every month to all
What?
of us
He didn't
a
come up to Irondequoit? Jeez,
he
Joel.
sends out a newsletter about home
Mm,
maintenance tips.
mhm,
And so I think, and again, it comes through HSA, through our warranty company, and then you as the agent, you customize it with your name and information, and then you can send that out to your people. And it's usually very basic.
mhm.
Well, I shouldn't say basic because I didn't know some of this. I mean, I always come back to like the silliest thing I learned, which is that you should run hot water through your garbage disposal. I don't know why, but one time that was in a message that hot water is better for pushing it through and breaking it down than cold water. I'm like,
Oh,
okay, like,
well, that makes sense.
yeah, but I never knew that until I got an email from our warranty company, right? So there is good information. Like that's not life changing information, but it's an easy change to make, right? Like,
Mhm.
oh, just put the hot water on when I'm running the garbage disposal.
You
So
know, it'd be fun, like, to do a social media post, like, put that as a question. Is it better to run hot water or cold water through your garbage disposal? And then see what people say. And
yeah.
then for everybody who, answered correctly, they get entered into, I don't know, something. And for the people that got it wrong, they have to come to your next class about home maintenance. Um,
We did talk a little bit, Chuck. I did read about Front Door and the
oh,
app and help, and I am aware of
have
our
you used it
mutual
yet? Did you
challenge.
get a subscription? Have
I
you done
not
it?
yet, but I will. I
What are
haven't
you
bought
waiting
my
for?
light fixture yet, but I do have to change my light fixture by the end of the year. I do promise
Okay.
to get it done.
I'm installing a bath fan vent in the light, light and vent in
Mhm.
the bathroom. So I gotta call them for that. I gotta get the
Yeah.
vent.
No, I will do it. Um,
Okay.
and he did remind us that everybody gets one free call. So you don't even you can
Oh,
download
I
the
forgot
Front
about
Door
that.
app. Download the Front Door app.
Yeah.
You can use it with one call and not have to pay anything. They don't even it's not even like those ones where they say, "Oh, give us your credit card now, but we won't
Yeah.
charge you until then."
Yeah.
You don't even have to put your credit card information in at the beginning. But I was thinking about your story where you had to call 3 times, and
Yeah.
I thought I'm more likely gonna be in that one, so my second call is probably gonna be 10 minutes after my first call.
What are you doing? A light fixture?
Mhm.
All
Ceiling
right.
light.
Ceiling light. All right. So you need some wire strippers, right? You're gonna need
Oh, I might have that.
yeah, you probably got that. You probably
That's
got
the
every
cutty thing that has those little notches in
yeah,
the
that's
thing?
exactly it. The cutty
Okay.
thing with the little notches to put
Yeah,
different
I
gauge
think I have
wires
one
in
of
it.
those.
Then you're golden. You got that. You probably need some electric, like some black electrical tape. You might have that.
What
No,
about this what's the silver tape?
that's duct tape.
Oh, okay,
That you don't want.
okay.
No, you want some black electrical tape because when you put your thing around the little screws, it's good to put a piece of tape around it that holds it, so it secures them down and keeps to make sure the metal doesn't touch some other metal part inside your electric thing. So
See, Chuck, this is where we're different because none of that is on my shopping list. The only thing on my shopping list is the new light fixture, which I haven't
got
been able to pick out yet.
when you open up the box and you open up the directions, it's going to provide. It's going to there's going to be a list of recommended supplies.
Doesn't it come with that stuff?
No, they do not. No, they want you. They got to support the hardware store. Say we need you to buy more than just this. You need to buy the wire stripper, the thing. That they're all. So yeah. What's good news? I mean, electrical tape's like $2. It's not a
Okay.
big deal.
And it
Not a
probably
big.
doesn't expire.
It
I can
doesn't.
just put in my basement.
No. You know what though? I would do honestly after I was done with this project, I would throw it out because and then the next time I need it, I would go buy more. Because I'm sick and tired of storing all this stuff when I only do one project every 3 years. Such a mess. My garage is a disaster because of all the crap I got to store, and I'm done with the project. And I would just say, you know what? I don't need any more plumb. I won't, next time I need plumber putty, I'll go buy more plumber putty. I don't need to save this half empty can of plumber putty. It's a mess. Okay.
They have
Communication.
a cool thing in Buffalo called the Tool Library. Are you aware of this?
No.
All right, the Tool Library. This is a really cool idea for people
Okay.
just like you, Chuck. Um, where you instead of borrowing a book and signing out a book at the library, you borrow a tool.
It's great.
So that tool that you need for one job, like if I wanted to get that wire cutter stripper
Yeah.
thingy, I could go borrow it
Okay.
and then just bring it back when I'm done,
Oh my gosh.
right?
Wow.
So it's a
Come on,
pretty cool
Rochester.
concept.
What's going on? They got,
They have
jeez.
everything. They have outdoor equipment. They have rakes. They have like if you need a shovel, but like to dig, transplant a plant, right? Like
Yeah.
I think I have 4 different a pointy spade, a flat spade,
Yeah.
all this kind of
All
stuff.
this stuff.
I use each one once a year. If I could
Uh-huh.
just go to the tool library, borrow what I need,
Oh my
bring
God.
it back. So, like
Oh,
for our homeowners who are sellers who are downsizing, and it's like, what do I do with all these tools? Donate them.
I think they should sponsor. We need to get some sponsorship out of this place for our show now that
Well,
they're
they look for donations, Chuck, because
uh
they help
oh,
out a lot.
so it's legit. Like I wonder who had this
Oh my
great
gosh.
idea.
They
I,
just it's I saw a great show about it earlier this year.
wow, you
Young
win,
people
Buffalo.
who were like, "Hey, we don't all need to." I have a friend years ago. He and 2 other friends. They lived in the same area, a rural community. They need bigger
Hmm.
equipment out there. So the
Yeah.
3 of them, they would each buy stuff and share it.
Wow.
So, "Hey, I need the rototiller, Chuck, bring it over, you need
Wow.
the whatever," and we're
Yeah.
each storing 1/3 of what we need, and we can borrow it from each other when we need it.
Wow.
Yeah, so, like, that was, probably these guys probably did it 50 years ago amongst the 3 of them,
Hmm.
and the tool library is, like, community-based sharing.
Hmm.
Super cool.
That is awesome. I mean,
Yeah.
you put the tool library together with the front door. That's bananas. These guys need to meet. The tool library and front door need to connect. That's your job. You got to make it happen, Lisa.
That's not a bad idea.
Joel was just there. If he had gone to the tool library while he was in Buffalo, you got to tell him about it.
Yeah.
No, Joel, he does great video. Remember remember the videos, Joel? He's so good at that.
Yes.
He should create one at the tool library.
I
Maybe
think
the
that
tool library needs like a light fixture change and something, and we'll be like, oh, well, we got all the tools you need.
yeah, that's a really good idea. All right, I'm putting that on my to-do list.
Okay, let's make it happen. All
All
right.
right, so communication. Um, talk, if you're a Howard Hanna agent, talk to your
Yeah.
manager. Talk about how think about your center of influence, your sphere of influence. Think about how you want in a dream world, how would you communicate best with them?
Hmm.
And then let's figure out which tools help you with that.
And you know what? Just ask somebody the question. Just you don't have to you don't get extra points for figuring it out on your own from out of like 100. Oh, I had 50 conversations and blah blah blah. No, just say, hey, how do you like to be followed up with?
Mhm.
What's your favorite way? I make it part of the like I have a client a consultation, a buyer, an initial buyer consultation tonight. This super great client. She's works with the CF Foundation up here in Rochester, and that's one of my questions. I'm going to say, how do you want to communicate? How do you want to what do you want to do? So you got to ask the question.
I interviewed someone this morning before our show, Chuck, about getting into real estate
Uh-huh.
and going over everything about Howard Hanna as we were leaving. And we did our little kind of closing, what have you. And she said
Mhm.
to me, "Well, how would you like me to follow up with you?"
Oh,
So I
wow.
was very impressed.
Wow. All right. Teaser. I signed up. I signed up for the licensing exam next Tuesday. I'm going to take the test.
Are you going to study?
I I do. I need to brush up on a few terms, severalty, things like that. Like we never talk about severalty.
No.
Anyway, so I'm going to brush up on some of those kind of things. But other than that, I'm going to do my best and see if I get to keep my license.
I took that exam in 1987. So I'm
Okay.
thinking it's changed.
Well, that's why, and that's about communication. And when I'm talking with a new prospect, someone about getting licensed, I want to I feel like the best way to know the process is to kind of go through it again. Why not? Why not get refreshed?
Well,
Right?
it has changed since
That
we
has
went through it.
changed, right? It has changed.
I think I took
So
my broker's course in like 93 or 94. So that's changed too.
that has for sure that has changed, right? So yeah, so giddy up. So I'm doing it. So we'll see.
All right. I hope you
That'll
get
be a
an
future
A so you
show.
can put it on your fridge.
I don't even think you find out your score. You just get a pass or a fail.
Aw.
I hope I pass. Well, I will know by next Wednesday because it's on Tuesday, the 12th. And then after, so I'll take the test, and then from there, I'll be going to celebrate our Howard Hanna VIP champions.
Very nice.
So
All
that'd be
right.
so maybe I'll have that to talk about at the champions event.
Very nice. Our champions is at 10. So while you're taking the test, I'll be celebrating.
All right. All right. Very exciting. Thank you,
All right.
Lisa, for that's a great communication. You're the best. All right. I'll see you next Wednesday. All right.
I'll be
Cheers.
here.
You'll be here. Cheers, everybody.
I don't know why it doesn't show